Hello. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make some incredible, spectacular, never been done before vegetable fried rice. This recipe is definitely not that organized. It's super customizable. I kind of just follow the same sort of guidelines every time I make it. It's always at least a little bit different, but it definitely comes out the same every time. I mean, there's not like exact measurements. So what you're gonna need is some rice. Now the rice has to be at least a day old. So I made this rice yesterday and it has been sitting in my refrigerator for about a day, and that is a necessity. So before you go on, make some rice, have it sit for a day in your refrigerator, then come back. Next you're gonna need some butter, olive oil, soy sauce, garlic powder, an onion. You are also going to need a saucepan, this kind of looking thing. I don't know if it's called a saucepan, and a spatula or spoon, something along those lines. Now the rest of these are optional. A carrot, bean sprouts. I love me some bean sprouts. Peas. Peas are kind of like always in fried rice, but I just don't like them, so I'm not going to be putting any peas in mine, but that is an ingredient that you can feel free to add. And then you're going to need some eggs, at least one, depending on, I guess, my rice to egg ratio and how much egg I want, but normally one should be good. So like I said before, I never use exact measurements, I just kind of estimate, and it always turns out perfectly fine. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, of course, you're going to want to prepare your vegetables. Here I am peeling a carrot. Definitely wash it beforehand. That is important. And now I'm chopping said carrot with an excessively large knife. My technique is probably a little #awkward. And now I'm putting the washed bean sprouts on a plate with the carrots. After you wash your onion, you're going to want to cut it. Also, in addition to the onion, you're going to want to use the green part of the onion. It turns out we did have that, but I just did not see it in my refrigerator at the time. So after you're done cutting your vegetables, you're going to want to put your pan on your stove and go ahead and put it on medium high, kind of around that general area. And then you're going to want to put a little bit of olive oil in the pan. Now we are going to be cooking our eggs first, and then we will be putting those off to the side before we make the rice. So here I am whisking the eggs. I actually used 2 instead of 1. Did not see that coming. Epic plot twist of the century. I pranked myself. So now that your pan is heating up and you're waiting to put the eggs in the pan, you're gonna want to heat up your rice. So I'm gonna be putting this in a different bowl and I'm gonna be putting it in the microwave. The reason for this is because right now it's cold and it's all stuck together, and by heating it, it's going to soften it and make it so it will absorb the juices more. And also, so it's just going to be easier to use, and it's just going to taste better, trust me. So I just took this out of the microwave, and it took about 2.5 to 3 minutes for this to fully heat up, and I would recommend putting a damp napkin or paper towel on the top of the bowl before you put it in the microwave, because it speeds up the process and keeps in the moisture. Here I am adding the eggs. You probably could have done with a little bit less olive oil in the pan, because it did get a little juicy. However, it's okay because those juices will be diluted when I add them to the rice. And here I am breaking it up a little bit. Now I'm just putting them off to the side. And now we're going to make the onions. So you are going to want to put some more olive oil in the pan and then wait for that to heat up. Yes, I am putting the right amount in this time. Yes, watch that sizzle. Put some soy sauce, garlic powder, stir them up, and you're going to want to let that go for a little bit, couple minutes. After the onions have been on their own for a couple minutes, you're going to want to add your rice. This was a struggle for me because I am weak. Now I'm just flipping those onions into the rice, mixing it all together. Keep adding olive oil and soy sauce periodically, as well as a little bit of garlic powder here and there. Now I'm adding the vegetables and mixing them in. I did a lot of mixing in this video, and I cut out the parts where I let it sit, and you're going to want to do that so you can get it crispy. So just let it sit for a couple minutes at a time here and there to crisp it up. Now I'm adding the eggs and mixing those in as well. After all is done, here's the finished product. The sound did not work on this video, but it's okay because I was just explaining how beautiful the rice was. I hope you make this rice so you can admire its beauty as well.